Peace. Welcome to the Real HD Show. Didn't know if you guys were able to hear me. Um, I'm your host, Vic. I'm glad you could join us. It's Hump Day. It's your voice, your victory, right here on the Real HD Show. We meet every Wednesday. It used to be Mondays and Wednesdays. I'm moving it to just Wednesdays because our show, our channel lineup, that's right, our television channel lineup has expanded. I'm doing multiple shows throughout the entire week, and we can't do both Real HD shows on Monday and Wednesday, so we're just doing it on Wednesday. We want you to join us. We have a packed show for tonight. Our lineup includes um, secret relationship between blacks and Jews, black fatigue, white fatigue, China guns in black slums, vamps are the new Botox, and the Ditty Trial is the new OJ. We gonna okay, so we here for it, man, and we gonna give you that special awareness so you can move fearless out here in the world. We hope for you to join us. Um, I'm gonna put the call letters on the bottom so you can pop in, and then you begin. All my KRS-One fans know the rest of that song right there. So this is the mathematics on the bottom that you need to join us. So please just tap into that. CVJ double I 3QW, meaning two U's, and the number 5. We already got crew family up in the building, so let's bring this brother on because I know he about to stand strong on whatever he do. He gonna come through and lay it down real unique for us. And as I'm trying to fix the optics here, um, I'll get you in. Brother Godspeed, welcome to the Real HD Show. How you doing, big
Peace
bro?
to the peace to the cultivated people in a place to be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We know we got like 1.5 million people looking at this Nick game right now. So we
Yeah, you
appreciate
know it.
if you take the time out to build with
You
us
know it.
and to get with us tonight on the Real HD Show. I'm not using my regular mic, so am I sounding all right?
You
Godspeed.
sound good. You
Okay,
sound great.
great. All right,
I can
cool.
hear you very clearly.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. That's always a that's always a trial and error situation with these
I get
on
it.
these social media streets. So
I get it.
let's try to see if we can push that along. Nope, that's not the way to do that. Nope, let's go back to the other one. Okay, cool. Yeah. So we here with Brother Godspeed. We doing a Real HD show. Um, Sacrificing a little bit because my beloved Knickerbockers, my orange and blue is on right now. But we're gonna see what the Real HD show do. And if you
That's
want to
right.
be a part of the crew, please tap in, like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and share so that every time we have a Real HD show, you can rock out with us and have a higher discussion like we always do. You know what I mean? Also, we have a bevy of shows coming your way this week. We want you to look out for Broadcast Beats. Because Broadcast Beats is coming to you this week. That's right, that one of a kind producer show. And we're gonna have an interview. We're gonna have a Beat Rhymes and Life interview with the young brother Zoe Dash. And he's a brilliant young brother who's an activist and he's an MC. And he has a couple of things he wants to say to the community about his artistry and about his activism. And we're gonna get him on. We're gonna get him rolling strong tomorrow. So don't miss that. And then of course we have and if you're not up on it, you're missing out on a ton of fun. You're missing out on a ton of good ish talking. And I'm talking about none other than In the Bonus, Hoop Show for Hoop Heads, hosted by Av, Godspeed, and myself. And we have some regulars on, some regular panelists. And we get busy, man. We have a great time talking hoops from all genres, from all levels, from all situations. we bug out, we laugh, we joke, we talk serious, we crack on one another. You know what I mean? We it's talk that we do with hoops, but we doing it online. So join us. Hoop show for hoop heads in the bonus Sunday, 7 p.m. right here on the Real HD Show Network. So so before we go too far, pardon me, had to clear my throat a bit. We got to do our segments, and I want to start off the show with a really cool segment, Lit City Report segment, because it's about some youth, and when the youth are doing their thing, especially me and Brother Godspeed being MCs from the golden age, when the youth are doing good things with their artistry, man, we gotta promote them. We gotta show love on them. We gotta love on them hard and promote what they're doing. So that's why we putting on Young Brothers O Dash. That's why we're gonna show you this video right now by these young
Mm-hmm.
people for the Lit City Report, and we're gonna get to it right this second. Here we go. Of a Lit City Report, the wild, the wacky, the wonderful things that make our world go round. Because we need levity. You know what I mean? We talk about so many crazy things and so many dark things on the show that we have to interject that levity, that joy, that black joy into it, so we could be better and
Absolutely.
more positive as we travail. So without further ado, we're just going to pop in. And this is also the start of our AAT report, Healthy, Wealthier, and Wiser for a Brand New You.
Mm.
Because we need cell power. So we're going to talk about these young people and what their artistry has led them to do for our cell power and why it's part of the Lit City Report. So without further ado, let's get it done. Here we go.
Chop it up, chop it, chop it, chop it, chop it up. The slow food got you sloppy, bruh. So chop it, chop it, chop it, chop it up.
In my hood, there ain't really much to eat. Popeyes on the corner, McDonald's right across the street. All this talk about guns and the drugs, pretty serious. But look at what they feeding y'all. That's what's really killing us. Please change the food in my school, make it good. Get that fake food up out of my hood. Hope the message not misunderstood. Grow and took your own food, yes you could. Got the little homies in the garden, got the big homies selling collard greens in the north side. Ain't starving since community cooks been on the scene.
Screaming hot Cheetos and Takis, boy, you better eat your broccoli. Fake food is kinda lame, putting poison in your brain. Need more people at the club, popping bottles of that water, dabbing on that fast food, pulling veggies out the garden. I go hard, I eat good.
That's a hard bar right there.
Yeah, man, we had to give it up for the babies, man, for the youth. Them
She
put
dropped a
something
hard
magical.
bar. She dropped a hard bar on that one.
The youth, them man, the youth, them put together a hard salute for the culture, for the
I
people,
like that.
with the artistry.
I
Your
like
thoughts,
that.
brother Godspeed. Your thoughts on
Man, listen,
grow food?
the youth liking it. I'm loving it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
that's
grow
what I'm talking
food.
about.
That's the name of the record.
Wow. You know what? I gotta find that. That's on YouTube.
Yeah, no,
I gotta
I found
find
it
that.
on Instagram, but I'm sure it's on YouTube as well. If you dig it
If
up,
they
it's
got
called
it
Grow
on,
Food.
if they got it on whatchamacallit, whatever, Spotify, whatever, I'll buy it. Whatever.
Yeah, please. If you
I'm gonna
find, I
cop
don't know
it.
where this came from. I just
Mm-hmm.
found it, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
have any background to it. But if you know these young
Yeah.
people, they're gonna get
Yeah.
an interview with Broadcast Beats. They're gonna get an interview on a Real HD show. Tell them holler
Indeed.
at us. We'll holler at them, and we're gonna try to
Yep.
hook that up because the beat was stupid and the rhymes were on 1,000. So I ain't got nothing to do
Absolutely.
but salute y'all, man. Y'all keep making great music. We need y'all out there
Absolutely.
doing that. We need y'all doing that right now. We need more people inspiring the young folks to be daring in that way, because it's
Yeah.
so many things out there that make you want to just do the same old, that make you just want to, do the pop the thought pop. You know what I mean? Thought pop music is
Absolutely.
super regular
Absolutely.
and super like I guess on deck. It's like Yellow Dye #5 and Red 40 on the supermarket shelf. It's everywhere. You know what I mean? And it ain't doing
Absolutely.
nobody no good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when the youth is doing good, we gotta salute the family. We gotta make sure they taken care of and they're exposed as much as possible. So
Have to.
that's how we entering the first part of Lit City Report and the AAT report, and we're gonna get into the second part of the AAT report with this brother this holistic healer, and he's talking about his own self journey through healing, and then what he wants to do to help the rest of the people heal well, be better,
Mm-hmm.
and heal thyself. Right here on the Real HD Show. Check it out.
Light of healing, peace, love, light of healing, peace to the guys, peace to the earth. Y'all climb on in. Blessings. Shalom, 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 lakah, mishpati. Climb on in, family. I'm feeling better. I'm able to open my mouth a little wider now. I can move my jaw around. Still hurt a little bit. My stitches came apart today, but like I'm getting better, y'all. I'm healing up quickly. Yeah, I know a lot of y'all been asking questions, so I jumped on here to talk to y'all, give y'all some updates, and we're gonna talk. I'm gonna speak slow, so if you still can't hear me, let me know, and I'll try to speak slower so you can understand me. I know my mouth right now. You look healthy, bro. Yeah, I am healthy. I'm getting healthy. I'm getting better and better and better and better. I finally got my weight back too, on 152. I've been eating good. Good to see y'all as well. Nah, only thing that really stopped me is my L's and my S's. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's what really stopping me right now, but I'm working through it. I got until the 7th of June to get it right, because I got a lecture in Detroit. Y'all make sure y'all get on there and buy them tickets. I'll see y'all in Detroit at Wayne State University. So yeah, what we talking about today is elimination and nutrition. A lot of people asking how to detox, what's the fastest way to detox, and it's all about nutrition and elimination. And I'm gonna show y'all how to do it step by step. So get y'all pens, get y'all pads. Again, if you start hearing me slurring while I'm teaching, let me know. I'll slow down and I'll repeat myself. It's only gonna get better and better as I continue to speak and the inflammation continue to leave. So. Do you believe in numerology? Yes, I do. At least you're not spitting when you talking. Whatever. I sure was. But my S's is still killing me, y'all. When you come into Detroit, I'll be there June the 7th. Go to yakievents.com, book a ticket. If you don't trust the site, all you got to do is go to yakieawaken.com and click on the event tab, and then you can link it there. Okay? All right, so if y'all got y'all pens, y'all got y'all pads, y'all ready to get it started, type in some 7s and some 9s, we'll start. 3-bitter detox is amazing. Yes, the 3-bitters is healing the world. We sell about 100,000 3-bitters every couple of months, and I'm not exaggerating. We done seen people get rid of a lot of stuff just with the 3-bitters by itself. But see, that's a part of that elimination part that I was talking about. All right, let's do it. So when you're looking at the body, and I'm going to write this stuff down with y'all, so get y'all a pen and a pad. We're going to write it together. So the first thing, I want to start from the outside, then we're going to go internally, or eternally, should I say. So get you a pen, get you a pad. The first thing we're going to write is skin. Write down skin. Now, the reason why we're going to write down skin is because your skin is the biggest organ on your body. But not only is the skin the biggest organ on your body, the skin actually functions as your third kidney because it has a major detoxification capabilities. That's why you sweat through your skin. You perspire through your skin. So skin. All right. After skin, we're going to go through each of these. We're going to write down kidneys. And then we're going to break it all down. Kidneys is control of biological metabolic waste and metabolites. That's how you get rid of it. And you secrete it through your urine. So you got your skin, which is a eliminative organ, one of the biggest organs on your body. Then you have your kidneys, which gets rid of metabolic waste and metabolites through urine secretion by way of urea. Then the second one, you have your liver. The third one, you got your liver, right? Liver down. Liver have all types of what you will call detoxification pathways. You have the glutathione S transferase pathway. You have the NRF2 pathway. Write that down. The NRF2 pathway. And then you have the 3-phase detoxification pathways. You have the glutathione S transferase pathway. You have the NRF2 pathway. And then you have the 3-phase detoxification pathways, which is what your liver do by way of bilirubin, biliverdin, and bile. All right, so liver. Fourth one is your lungs. We're going to write down lungs. Your lungs. That gets rid of what? Carbon dioxide. All right. And last but not least, colon. Write down colon. Colon gets rid of what you will call macro waste. So we got skin, kidneys, liver, lungs, colon, and then what wraps all of these together is the lymphatic system. So write down lymphatic system. And we're going to break it down. I'm going to show you how to move all of these. My pen going out. Shem, you got a pen? There we go. Lymphatic system. All right, so let's start with the skin. Y'all write these down. Skin. Put them in the comments. Kidney, liver, lungs, colon, lymphatic system. And the lymphatic system is its own beast. Because with the lymphatic system, you have the spleen, which help you cleanse and purify everything that's in your blood into the lymphatic system. You have the lymph nodes, the cervical area, the axillary area, the sphenoid area, the lingual area. You got so many, the Peyer's patches, the ileum sac. So when we get to the lymphatic part, is even way more. But right now we're going to talk about the skin. Anybody trying to detox, focus on your skin. Because most people that's sick or that got illnesses or that's going through some type of illness, their kidneys and their adrenals are compromised anyway. So you have to help your kidneys and your adrenals by cleansing through your skin. The best thing to do is make sure you're not blocking your pores. So don't be putting on anything that's thick like shea butter. That'll block your pores. Vaseline will block your pores. You need to use things like aloe vera, coconut oil if you're not dealing with herpes, of course. But the best thing I used to use grapeseed oil, but then I start realizing all of the hydrogenated, just basically how they really hydrogenate these things and put them in these transfusions and heat them up. So I don't even do those no more. So the best thing would be coconut oil and olive oil and aloe vera to put on your skin, because it still allow your pores to breathe. And that way, if you're doing a sauna or if you're going for a walk or if you're sitting in the sun, you are still able to perspire and sweat and basically get all of those metabolites and metabolic waste through the skin. Skin is an amazing detoxification mechanism. Not only do it absorb things straight into the bloodstream, it actually excrete things outside of the blood as well in the tissues. So that's the first thing I'll pay attention to, because anybody that's sick or anybody that's suffering from a detoxification symptom that we call an illness or a disease, they having kidney malfunction anyway, because the kidneys is your first line of defense when it comes to getting rid of metabolic waste. You eat foods, you break these foods down. When you break these foods down, it goes down the esophagus, it hits the stomach, hydrochloric acid inside the stomach, break the food down even more. It passes through something called the pyloric sphincter. Once it get through the pyloric sphincter, it go into this 9-inch tract called the duodenum. Inside the duodenum, you have a bunch of microbes, and these microbes can get up to the billions just in this one little area. And who's hanging around there? Helicobacter pylori. That's why a lot of people are getting H. pylori, because they're eating wrong. So you have these little fingers, these little fungi fingers called the microvilli. Deep within inside of there, you have all these bacteria that swim up and they grab onto the food, and then they pass the food through something called capillary beds. These capillary beds go through two major systems. They go through lymph capillaries and blood. All right, once it get inside the blood transfer it throughout the body through 150 trillion cells. Your cells then grab a hold of the food through different types of pumps and enzymic reactions, cation reactions and ionic reactions. Then it go through the cell. When it get in the cells metabolize it for ATP and energy. After that, the cell poop. When the cell poop on itself, you have something called the lymphatic system or interstitial fluid that rolls around all of these different cells and pick up all the metabolic waste. Once it picks up the metabolic waste, it travels to something called lymph nodes. These lymph nodes have a bunch of macrophages in there and a bunch of different bacteria that helps the food break down even more and extract more. Once these foods then break down, they go through the rest of the lymph nodes, then they end up in the kidneys, powered by the adrenal glands. If the adrenal glands are powered up properly and it's emitting the millihertz that it needs to basically electrify the body, then the filtration pump kicks on, which is the kidneys, and then you literally pee it out through urea and all different types of metabolic material. So your circulatory system or your lymphatic system is working properly. But if not, then these things are backing up and sitting on top of the cells. So the best thing you can do is open up the pores to your skin to become elimination pathway. And that's why we always tell people to get in heat or to get in the sauna, infrared sauna or steam sauna, to help open up their pores and more. And when I mean get in there, I mean it have to be at least 160 or higher.
All right. That was a very long video. I didn't realize how long that was. I didn't watch the entire thing. I saw a lot of his other stuff, which is so peace to Brother Yaki, breaking it down. We didn't know we was going to get a biology lesson tonight, but we could appreciate it. You know what I mean? And especially when it's
the
coming
science,
from
the scientists be sciencing.
yeah, man. The science is science in the night for sure. For sure. So peace to Brother Yaki. If you can get out to Detroit and buy a ticket to that brother's lecture or oration, please do that. I'm sure he would appreciate not only the patronage, but he would appreciate you being there and supporting his endeavors. And even if you just share it or tell people about the way he's breaking down science of the body. I always talk to my students about the ADP, ATP, and the Krebs cycle and the way that phosphorus burns so that you can make energy for the body and how important that is. And if your cells ain't talking to one another, or if the mitochondria or the information coming out of your nucleus to the rest of the cell is blocked, then you're in trouble, Jack. And that was going on. That was going on during the pandemic. That's what a lot of the COVID. That's what was attacking a lot of the C2 receptors, which made Rona so powerful and took out so many people so fast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts.
Inept cell activity. You know what I mean?
Big facts. You know what's crazy?
And body organ.
The way that brother was breaking, the way that brother was breaking things down reminded me of a story that I got kind of almost firsthand. So, Quest, who was on the show, his Tai Chi instructor was asked to have an audience with Steven Seagal.
Okay.
The legendary Steven Seagal.
Okay.
So cool. So the instructor might have been a little bit tardy to meeting with him at a restaurant.
Right.
So when he got in the restaurant, Seagal was already eating. So he says, you Steven Seagal? And Steven Seagal said, yes, I am. He said, oh, I know who you are. You're the guy I'm supposed to meet. So he said, it's all right. Maybe another time. And he walks away from his table without sitting down. So Seagal was like, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Pardon me. I'm so sorry. My apologies. You know, he tried to find a title for him. I guess he might have called him Sifu or Yogi or something, right?
Right. Sensei, something, yeah.
He's something, right? So he said, please sit down, please. I need your counsel. So the guy sits. So he says, look, I can see from your face. I can tell you your kidneys are bad, that your kidneys are clogged. Your liver needs flushing out from the redness of your eye, like around your eye. You know,
Mm,
he was breaking them down on skin because he's talking about the
right,
redness of the skin around his eye and all kinds of stuff. He
right.
said, "Look, you're sitting there and you're perspiring. You're not doing anything but eating, and you're perspiring." He's like,
Mm,
so these are the things you got to work on.
right.
Just off of sight, bro. So, and hearing this young brother, letting the science do the science, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he know what he's talking about
Yeah, yeah.
for sure.
And I like his honesty about him going through his own personal health journey with his dental work. And
Right.
we can all be better in that area as well. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, man, and I can appreciate that, and that's kind of where how those
Mhm.
that's the honest take. You know what I mean?
Yep. Like right
He's
now,
not
tonight,
out
it's
here.
funny.
He's not out
Yeah,
here,
perpetrating.
conscious hustling. He's just out
Hmm.
here to give the information to the people because he's telling you
Yep.
about his own journey. He's telling you about the things
Exactly.
he needs to improve on about himself and being very candid and having a lot of integrity about that whole line of his journey himself.
Sharing his information.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
That's what it comes down to.
Absolutely.
You're just sharing. You're sharing because you're caring.
Yeah,
You
man.
know.
Awareness so you can move fearless. That's what we do here on the Real HD
Yep.
show. Go support brother Yaki if you can. That brother's powerful, young brother,
Hmm.
attempting to bring his own brand of understanding of the health sciences of the body. He wants to
Daring
be,
to be great.
a young Imhotep in the making. So let's support that
Yeah.
brother. You know what I mean? Let's support all our young Imhoteps out there trying to get it done, trying to make the people healthy and healed. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
let's get 1,000 of them out there. You know what I mean? Let's get 1,000 brothers and sisters out there doing that very thing, and we gonna turn the corner. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yes,
We
what
gonna
I'm
turn
doing
the
right
corner.
now is
We gonna
funny.
turn the
It's
corner for
funny that
sure.
you brought up health. It's funny that you
Hmm.
brought up health because what I'm doing right now is I'm actually soaking my almonds because I
Oh,
plan on for the first time making my own almond milk tomorrow sometime.
oh, dope, dope. That's
I'll
always
let you
dope.
know how that project goes.
No, that's always good, man. That's always a great thing.
Mhm.
Like the young people, like the mighty youth them that was singing the Grow Food song. Let's be inflation busters out here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Let's be inflation busters by
Big
uh
facts.
you know making our own food, growing our own food, being healthy and conscious about our body and our metabolic choices and our food choices so that we can do better. You know what I'm saying? And we should make it a thing that we can identify within one another, and it shouldn't be like a shameful thing, like you said.
Right.
The seafood or the wise man told Cigar, you got that redness around your eyes. You might want to check them kidneys. You might want to check that liver. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yo,
Facts.
like they also say, you could tell health by the health of your nails. You know what I mean? So if the nails have some people have
The
nails with
rails.
always they're
The
brittle and they got
rails.
the
Hmm.
right and they got the lines going through them and they're darkened and it's fading in different colors and stripes all through the nails.
Hmm.
That's a health signal. You know what I mean?
Yes, it is.
That's a health signal because the extremities in the body act as the last point of waste removal in the system. And it's going to show you the Roy G. Biv, the energy spectrum in the body that you're dealing with, whether the spectrum is healthy or the spectrum is poor. You know what I mean?
Exactly. When they have rails on their nails,
Yeah.
iron, they need to get
Yeah.
probably get like dose, like
Uh
real
huh.
iron from the sea.
Yes.
Get vitamin B2, vitamin B12, and also biotin.
Yes.
That helps with the brittleness, definitely. I know biotin by itself had gotten my nails back strong super fast.
Yeah.
The toughest
Yeah.
one to get rid of is the rails. That's a toughie.
Yeah.
So with biotin, get rid of the weakness of the nail on its own. But I would say when you get rails on your fingernails, you got to bring out the whole army. You got to bring out biotin, B12, B2, and iron. Like I got to get some iron because I got a few rails on my fingernails right now.
Right. But I'm
So I got to
talking about
work
the
on
deep
that.
ones where your nails are like discolored and
Oh
all of
God,
that.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
when the
brother,
body is really talking to you. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And then I even
big
had
facts.
some older uncles and some older men in my life that the nails were falling off. And I was
Mm,
like, yo, you
mm,
gotta, go see a healer like right away, like now.
hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You got your nails
For
falling
real.
off, my G, like you got to go. It's time to go.
How how Kumo D said it? 3 days later, go see the doctor.
Right.
Well,
Check.
in our case, 3 days later, go see the healer.
Right, exactly. And then I mean, it's good to get a cross perspective on these things because the medical industry is definitely a payola scheme in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So they got it by politics, FDA, and a lot of other things. So you want
Hmm.
to make sure that if you go to the doctor and they give you a doomsday diagnosis, you want to go get it seconded by an alternative source and then get some
Hmm.
alternative remedies for what's popping and whatever they think is going on with you. You know what I mean? But don't waste time on it.
Facts.
Do it as soon as possible. I just lost another family member down in Bmore recently. Shout out to Aunt Sandy. Love you so much. Gonna miss your salmon cakes. You were the best. You were super funny, super pretty. We're gonna miss you. You will be missed. That witty humor, that smile, man, you will be missed. You will be missed. So, but
Wow.
you know,
My
my aunt,
condolences, man. My condolences.
yeah, she didn't do the right thing by herself, and she hung on to some health
Mm,
information until it was too late,
mm,
being too proud, and you know, just didn't work out for her. So, we're wishing my whole BMore family, Bernard, uh, Corey, uh, everybody, man, the whole BMore family, everybody, Wheezy, Melvin, man, Jada, the whole Be More family, man. Love y'all. Y'all be strong. We'll be down to see y'all very, very soon. And love on y'all about it. But love on each other, heal each other. And just wanted to say that real quick. Got a little choked up, pardon me.
indeed.
But
Indeed.
yeah.
Indeed. Understood. Understood.
And that's why I do these things, man, so that we can,
Yeah, man.
and she was a young woman, man. She had 30 more solar returns to go, So
Mm, 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 mm.
that's a young woman. You know what I'm saying? So you want to
Hmm.
hold on to as much of it as possible. When I'm hearing,
Yeah, man.
melanated people living to 116, 114, that's a young woman right there. If you're thinking
Yeah.
about it along those lines, you know what I mean? That's a young
Yeah.
lady. She was my elder
Indeed.
by many, many decades, but she was still young in the game of life. So, we're gonna miss you. We're gonna
Hmm.
miss you, Sandy. We love you. And love on each other, man. Give each other this
Yep.
information. Maybe clip the show at this part. Share it with somebody that you know and love and you trust. And let's get each
Hmm.
other healthy, man, so we can
Yeah.
have healthy babies, healthy families, and healthy futures. All right, man, we're gonna move on. And we got some local news. I was hoping that Brother Godspeed, not got Brother Godspeed is on, but I was hoping Brother Mozzie was on already. He'll
Hmm.
probably pop on in the 9 o'clock hour. I know he said he likes to run on Wednesdays. He got a lot of endeavors he's dealing with on the hump day. But um
Hmm.
and I'll ask him when he gets on about this. But I think this is so interesting that I had to do it.
Hmm.
Brother Godspeed, did you see the Spike Lee movie Miracle of Santa Ana about World War II?
You know what? No, I want to see it, and Duke,
Oh, you gotta see that
I gotta
movie.
watch
You
that.
got
Yes.
Terrence All Star cast. Terrence Howard, Derek Luke,
Mm-hmm.
the brother that was in Sinners that played the bodyguard, the big ops
Hmm.
brother.
Hmm.
He was in it. Um, Clive Owen. Oh man,
You
so
know what?
many
I'm gonna
really
keep it a
dope.
buck with you. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I did see it, but I gotta watch it again. I only saw
Yes.
it once. I'm not gonna hold you. I can't really. When you talk, I might recall.
Yeah. So in the movie, It starts to Laz Alonso, that Afro Cuban Afro Latino brother. He's in it. That brother's in the movie the show The Boys. He plays the leader of the crew that takes on the bad superheroes. Well, anyway, really dope dude from Jumping the Broom. Really dope actor. I like him a lot. I wish he'd be in
check
more
that
stuff.
out again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what was dope about Miracle of Santa Ana was it was about the World War II black regiments that went into Germany and France, and the treasures that they recovered, and the lives that they connected and the lives that they touched just being in that area of the world. And he brought back this treasure, this golden bust. And it starts off with Laz Alonso being this older man. He's like a senior, and they CGI'd his makeup. He's a senior, and he's trying to, I guess, sell the golden bust because he's trying to get money and take care of himself or whatever. And they're giving him a hard time about being authentic about where that statue came from. But it was some of the spoils of World War II. Some of the Jewish artifacts that were found in Eastern Europe that were claimed and brought over to the United States by the soldiers. Now Spike kind of kissed it. He didn't really go deep. I wish he would have did a deep dive. But on the Real HD show right now, we're going to do a deep dive into that, and we're going to show about the spoils of World War One and World War II, and how a lot of the jewelry that was the Jewish loot from Auschwitz that was fair game because of the concentration camps and because of what that population went through at that time, and what's happening with it right now. So we're gonna show. I'm gonna show a article, and we're gonna talk about it. And the reason why I wanted Brother Mozzie on is because Brother Mozzie can relate, because he's a Rochester native, and he can relate to a company that I'm gonna bring up when I talk about this very issue. So we're gonna put the headline up. Boom. 7 brands with Nazi ties that we all use. Okay, so it's 7 household brands with Nazi ties that we use. And I know on this show we're very alternate information, alternate healing, alternate, everything. And you got to be that way if you want to survive, because you can't just be consuming everything out here. You'll be lost in the sauce. But for lack of a better thing, we're gonna get to it and we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna share my screen, and we're gonna get to the 7 U.S. brands that were was it Nazi collaborators? No, that were household. Let me show the byline again, the title again. Yeah, 7 brands with Nazi ties. Okay, let's go to this. 7 brands with Nazi ties. And then we're going to get in a secret relationship between blacks and Jews as a result of this, because it's really interesting how all of this kind of works itself around, and it's very
Dr. Khalid's book.
Macro and micro connected. You know what I mean? Nazi ties. Okay. I thought I saved it, but that's why it's taking me a little while to get to it. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Yay, got it. Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen, show you the image, and then we're gonna get to it, do it. Okay. Real quick, while I'm waiting to do that, bro. Update on the game. You got it popping?
No, I'm not in that room. I will be soon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, good. We're locked in. Okay. So I hope everybody at home could see this. Let me look. Yeah, I got this on. Okay, great. So 7 brands with Nazi ties that we all use. These major companies made fortunes and grew what they are today with a help from Hitler. Okay? So here we go. So nowadays, we rightly view the Nazi regime as an evil empire. However, Nazi Germany was not always such. So it says, in fact, major corporations survive today. To do this, did businesses with the Nazis before and during World War II. Furthermore, many businesses and leaders at the time were sympathetic to Nazi ideology and even collaborated with the Nazi government for ideological purposes. Businesses saw a chance to make a profit, ideology aside. Okay, so the first one is IBM. Wow, what would American tech be without IBM? Crazy. So that's the first one.
Wow.
The second one, and that's one of the very, if you see this card on the screen, that's one of the very first, I guess, blueprints and I guess factory layouts of IBM.
Okay.
Rosamnot. And then you see the SS thing right next to it. And it was supposed to be like some layout of how they designed their, I guess, their factory layout or their, way that they took care of their shippings and receivables. IBM.
Okay.
Crazy.
Okay.
Oh, it says it's a typical IBM punch card for the SS race office. So it was an employee card. So I stand corrected. So that was one of them, right? So it says they've been hired by the Nazi government to carry out a nationwide census of Germany. This census was designed to identify populations of Jews, Gypsies, and other ethnic groups deemed undesirable by the regime so they could be marked for extermination. So that's the Nazis, and that's IBM. So that's a way that they was involved with them, okay? Volkswagen, with the German name, okay? So Volkswagen was down. Volkswagen was down with the shits, okay? So I know in the 80s when you had the Volkswagen Jetta and you were swagging in the hood with your swagged out matching kit, around the way, right? That was the drug dealer car of choice because it was the drop top, right, outside of the Jeeps. So you would ride your black, your red trim on the black Jetta, and you were riding around playing Christopher Williams.
With
Don't
your
Make Me, I'm Dreaming.
With your red Kangol and your Puma suit on.
Yeah, that was it, man. And you had to look. I'm sitting on my stoop looking at these dudes like, wow, that's hot. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing this is blood money. I'm looking at blood money right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm looking at a company with blood money. So unlike other Nazi collaborators, Volkswagen did not merely collaborate with the Nazi state, but it was in fact created by it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. What they don't teach you in history class. All right, so we're gonna move on, man. And I want y'all to go back to the article, the top of the article, 7 brands with Nazi ties that we all use. Okay. So now we did Volkswagen, and we're gonna move on to the next one. Hold on. I'll read this one clip. Volkswagen used more than 15,000 slaves from concentration camps to build their cars. Volkswagen even built the Abitzdorf concentration camp near one of its factories where they kept skilled workers for slaves. Wow. Really interesting. So next time you want to go get the any Volkswagen items, think twice. Coca-Cola Company. Yeah, Coca-Cola. Right? Good old Coca leaf, right? And Fanta, right? Fanta has made a comeback in the stores, right? And the orange and the grape, and the kids are going crazy and calling themselves rap names with Fanta in it. Fanta was a Nazi company fronted by Coca-Cola in the time of, World War II and the German regime. Coca-Cola benefited from financially via Nazi Germany. In fact, the company's product Fanta birthed during the Nazi regime. When the Nazis came to power in 1933, Coca-Cola's business in Germany was booming under the leadership of Max Keith. He revamped the Coca-Cola brand in the country and boosted sales. During the 1936 Berlin Games, for example, Keith made sure all the attendants had all the Coke they could want. I'm gonna stop there with Coca-Cola, and yeah, it does mean Coke. It means bump. They bumping. They mean they out there bumping. And if you go back to the Real HD show when we were talking about Coca-Cola and the New Jersey plant actually pushing raw cocaine out of their Coca-Cola New Jersey plant.
Oh yeah. In
That's an eye
18,
opener
like
too.
around 1804, they still had Coke in the cola.
Yeah. Hugo Boss, that's right. That designer brand, right, where they do colognes and certain clothing products, right? 1931, 2 years before the Nazi Party took control of the German government, Hugo Boss started his fashion label in Mitzingen, Germany. So it says, however, when Hugo Boss went from merely being an owner of a factory that counted on Nazis among their client, the Nazi himself went to join the SS Party. Boss became a sponsoring member of the Schützenstaffel, I hope I said that right, the Nazis' paramilitary wing, making monthly donations to the organization. So the next time you smell some Hugo Boss and you think it smells good and you want to put down your little, whatever, your little chips to get it, think twice. Think twice, pack light. You know what I'm saying? Like Badu say, pack light, think twice. You know what I'm saying? So, hold on, what does it say here real quick? It was the company began to use slave labor from concentration camps in order to produce the large orders that they were receiving during the height of their situation. The company will continue to live under the son-in-law, Eugene Holly. Nowadays, Hugo Boss is a major luxury fashion house selling high-end clothing and fragrances around the world. Finally,
Wow.
in 1999 and 2000, the company finally agreed to contribute to a fund that compensated former forced laborers. So there's that reparation talk again, right?
Yep. There we go.
So everybody else could get their little check.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Except for us, who they
tell me-
denationalized and took and placed misnomers on us. They put all kinds of
Don't
things.
tell me it's not.
They rebranded us and everything.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And yeah,
Yes.
they can't give us no reparations because we don't know our proper nationality and all that. But I think it's beyond that now. People used to like to talk like that 20 years ago. I think it's just beyond that. You know what I mean? I think culturally that's a thing, but I think lawfully it's that too, but it's just so, what's the word? It's so piled on, you know?
Yeah.
African Americans
And
are
everybody
never
got
going to
something to
get
say.
reparations.
Everybody got something to say
Never.
about it. Everybody got a stake in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
Everybody
funny,
wants-
so funny, Vic, you know what burns me the most, what grinds my gears about it the most is
Okay.
that African Americans of diverse different backgrounds from different places, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. Watch this. So Kathy Hochul had threw the suggestion out there in the air that she's on for reparations, right?
Okay.
That she would consider it. You know how these politicians talk.
Rightly so.
They're never gonna say they're gonna do it. They're just gonna say they're on for the idea, right?
Right.
So she does that. Guess what these simple-minded Negroes out here do? They
What's
did
up?
exactly what I predicted. Like for a couple of decades now, I told people I don't want reparations. I want my people to get it, but I don't want it. Keep it. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna end up you trying to make me call myself something that I'm not, just to get it, right? And then I said to myself, and I'm on the record for the record, bro. I don't want this. I don't want their reparations, bro. They could keep it. So just just leave me in peace. You know what I'm saying? That'd be
Mm-hmm.
my payment. Leave me in peace. You know. Um.
Well, here's
Mm-hmm.
what I'll say about that. It's
Mm-hmm.
the debt that's owed. Number one,
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
is a debt that's owed. You can't make
Mm-hmm.
somebody work for you for free.
Right.
It's a debt that's owed, right? And
Mm-hmm.
number two, don't tell me, don't give me the okey doke like it can't get done. Now, whether it gets
Yeah.
done
Don't
or
give me
not,
that either.
whether it's fruitful for us to do it or not,
Mm-hmm.
that's another conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But don't lie to me and
Absolutely.
tell me that
So,
it can't
but
get
but
done.
but that's why I put my disclaimer. But the disclaimer is I want my people to get it. I always put my
Right.
disclaimer out there. I want my
Yeah,
people to get it. Right.
yeah.
So that's my disclaimer. But the next thing I said was, guess what? Our people is gonna find a way to bicker amongst each other about it, and they're
Mm.
gonna start saying, "This one's from there, that one's not from here.
Oh, they
His
already
family
doing it,
wasn't
bro.
born here."
They already
I said
doing
it
it.
to them, and I
They
said
already
it to
doing it.
people. The first thing I hear is the Caribbeans, the Caribbeans, the Caribbeans. I was like, all right, you see that right there? First of all, we ain't Caribbeans. That's like calling me nigga. Okay? That's
Right.
like calling me and my family nigga. Okay? Don't call my family, don't call them Caribbeans, bro. You know what I'm saying? To
Hmm.
me, that's like say it to you once, twice, a third time. We should have a fist fight over that because I'm telling you that's a cuss word to me. Just like the
Right.
nigga word.
Right. If
It's
you
a cuss word.
if right, if you do the science, find out what we called each other back in the day, and then use those
Yeah.
terms, or or let's create our own new terms.
Right.
Let's define ourselves for ourselves instead of being
Hmm.
defined for. You know what I mean? I agree.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
agree.
But you see
I
that
agree.
the whole
Let me
thing is
go
they
ahead.
started finding something to argue about amongst themselves already, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody divvied out any funds yet. Nobody's even
Right.
near that. All of a
Right.
sudden, already, well, they're from the West Indies. They're from Haiti. They're from Trinidad. They're from
Yeah.
Jamaica. I was like, oh
Yeah. Yeah.
God,
Of
it's all
course.
called the Armor Indies for a reason. It's all called the Armor Indies for a reason, even though that's a misnomer. But guess what they're trying to tell you, idiots? We're all one. That's why it's called the Armor Indies by the
Yes, sir.
governments.
Yes,
We're
sir.
all one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anyways, I'm off my soapbox.
No, and the more you dig, the more you find those commonalities, the more you find those historical links that go back thousands of years. That's a whole nother show. Go back when we did our Dawn Voyage show, where we talked about
Hmm.
how all of those things connect, how all of those ancient groups connect,
Hmm.
whether it's through blood or through culture or through lineage and transition. You'll see connections out the wazoo. You know what I'm saying? That's really super duper
Truly.
interesting. But let me get through this list real quick because we have Frida and we got Jean
Oh, that's
on
Gene. Gene.
Jean.
You got
Okay.
Jean, Frida, Jill. I just gave Jill a link. She couldn't find a link or something, so she should be
Yeah,
getting in there soon too.
I sent it to her number earlier so we can
Okay.
get to we can get on and get her going. So let me get through it. So if she decides to
Do your
jump
thing.
on.
Yeah, she's
All right,
coming.
so
She's coming. Hmm.
something that everybody loves and trusts for their sporting information, the Associated Press. Down with them Nazi folks. Associated Press is an American news agency, photo agency service that's heavily used by many of the largest news organizations around the world. That's right, the
Hmm.
Associated Press. Um, when the Nazis came to power in 1933, many international news organizations began operating in Germany and began experiencing pressure from the government to conform to Nazi standards. I'm trying to get to a quick video why they're important. Uh, okay. So in 1933, the head of the German branch of the AP was already refusing to publish images that depicted the discrimination against Jews in Germany in order to stay on the good side of the Nazis. And if you continue to read that story, you'll hear how they were also funded. The Associated Press was funded by
Hmm.
Nazis. Um, that's one thing, right? So we're talking about the
Hmm.
Associated Press. So if you read basketball and you're looking at the rankings, or if you're looking at college football and you're looking at the rankings by the Associated Press, and you're trusting those editorial comments as gospel, as truth, just know they was down with the shits. All right, Kodak. Wow, that's why I wanted Brother Mosley on tonight. Good old Rochester, New York, Kodak. That's right.
Wow.
The camera company, the tech company, Kodak was down with the Nazis. They got funded by the Nazis extremely for decades. Even after World War II, no one knew that the American photo and tech company named Kodak was a Nazi collaborator in the early 2000s. However, new information uncovered the National Archive revealed that the extent of Nazis' business relationship with Germany. And I have another article I wanted to do, but I don't think I'm going to get to it, that proves Kodak paid, there it is, Kodak paid $500,000 into a fund provided for families of those who used slave labor for Nazi corporations, but never apologized for their continued business dealings in Germany. So this is Kodak. What would the American phone be right now? You wouldn't even be able to take selfies if it wasn't for Kodak. They developed the entire photo industry of the planet. Good old Kodak in Rochester. And you know what's crazy about this, bro? Godspeed. People in Rochester break their neck to get a Kodak job. Literally. Literally. Backbiting one another, doing all kind of dastardly things to one another because it was, of the factory life. You know how when you used to get a factory job, you keep it, you get the bennies, you get in the union, and you can set yourself up for life. You get, you get the pension, all of that, right?
Yeah.
So Kodak was providing that. Now Kodak since then has taken a lot of hits and hasn't done as well as they're still around, but they're not doing the same numbers they used to do. They're not doing the millions and billions of dollars that they used to do in money.
Because they're not the only game in town no more. That's why.
Right. And they
Technology.
they refused to move with the times. You see what I mean?
Yep.
They refused to get involved with the cell phone game and a lot of other things that would have made them continue to be a household name. But who needs that when this is blood money that they dealing with, right?
Right.
Who needs that when this is slave money, blood money? All right, so that's Kodak, and I know Mozzie probably would have dropped a crap ton of information on us if he knew about that. Let me see if he's trying to get on right now. Let me see if he's backstage. No.
So you said my cousin Jean and Frida is back there.
Well, Frida was on. She popped off, and Jean is back there right now.
Okay.
She can come on and put her mic on whenever she's ready. And the last brand is Bear Aspirin. That's right. Bear Aspirin, the progenitor of pharmaceutical aspirin pills for pain and prescription drugs. Nazi funded, my G. Bear Aspirin.
Golly, son. We got that in the closet somewhere.
Yeah, crazy, man. Has its own horrifying history with Nazi Germany. It was created as an independent company by the 1930s. We're part of the company IG Farben, which is a conglomerate by a number of chemical companies in Germany. As the German Chemical Corporation and Nazi regime, IG Farben committed a long list of atrocities. The chemical factories in the nation could be used by the corporation. Let's see. Oh, they were in Auschwitz, so they were at that very camp where they was doing the fires. They were right there. They were right there.
Wow.
13 of 24 company directors were arraigned and convicted of war crimes. All of these Nazi collaborators received early releases, and most of them were reinstated as directors of new corporations created out of IG Farben in America. Crazy work. Crazy work.
Yeah, they said Hitler was playing golf with the DuPonts.
Yeah. For sure. And I was talking to my wife, and I was telling her about all of the the wars, because we were talking about, the wars overseas right now and the potential for World War III and
Yep.
all the rest of it. And she was telling me that, about the causations or the causality of some of the wars. And I was like, babe, that's about bread. That's about money, power, and neocolonialism. We just got to call it what it is. And if Israel isn't showing that right now, I don't know who ain't. You know what I mean? They want that Gaza Strip so they can build on it, so that they can control the tourism of the East, because Mecca's right
Mm-hmm.
there, Egypt is right there. Anybody that goes in that part of the world, they want part of the Suez Canal, Gaza, Egypt kind of region. That's where the money's made. Billions, billions on billions on billions. And I showed y'all the article maybe about a year and a half back, where they want to create a Disneyland.
I'm gonna be right back. I want to call Jill just to make sure she's
No,
not
go ahead.
having
Go ahead and do your
technical
thing.
issues. I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
I gotta go through a couple of things. So go ahead and do that, and
Okay.
we'll be here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bro. Yeah, so they have those things going, and it's all about bread, and it's all about neocolonialism, power, hegemony, and what that's going to look like moving forward. So we're going to get into some other stuff. Power to the people news. Wait, what just happened? This just happened. Let's get into some of it. So there's a new thing that's out right now, right? And it's called black fatigue, right? And it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. Shout out to Dr. Thunder. Go check out his channel. Very informational. Very. He does it he delivers his information from a very calm PhD point of view and perspective. So he's going over what you would call racial battle fatigue. And over the years, you would think it was black people that have racial battle fatigue, right? Because if you think about over 200 racial uh, riots in American history, from the time that after 1863, 1865, all the way up to the present time, you have over 200 documented racial riots on American soil, right? Against melanated people, whether they be so-called black people, so-called native people, so-called whatever you want to call them, just war on melanated people, so that the power structure and the power division remains intact and favoring in proportionality, them other folks, them white folks, right? So black fatigue is basically the nomenclature of the recent nomenclature, or the recent uh, colloquialism of what would you want to call it? The exhaustion that people feel when they deal with racism as a construct. Racism is a construct because we're all human beings, right? But since the influx of racism after 1611, Thomas Middleton, looked that up. We've dealt with that about maybe 2 or 3 years ago on the show. Ever since that word went out to describe the racial power class, or the racial elite class, or the racial upper class of what they want to have the power interests in the world, right? Because remember, white supremacy is a world system, not just an Americanized system. It came over from Europe, and then of course Americans refined it to what it looks like in uh, systematically participates itself in today. So we experience racial fatigue for a number of reasons, and in a lot of ways, racial fatigue, according to a lot of scholars and a lot of clinicians and a lot of even, Francis Cress Wilson talks about how you can pass your trauma down through your lineage, and if you don't heal and you don't do the things that will make you whole as a person, and at least conscious about what's actually happening out here with regard to how bad we're being treated and administered to, and the classism and racism that's involved in savage inequalities, so that terrorize our lives. So, with all that being said, racial fatigue makes us very tired, very irritable. Um, the fact that I'm broadcasting to 15 different channels, and on a channel like YouTube where I have over 3,000, uh, uh, I guess, friends, I only have one like on a show where I'm looking at somewhere in the range of 300 people watching the show. It means that people are racially fatigued, and
Mm.
this subject deserves a deep dive. And I was hoping Sister Aurora will come on and Brother Mozzie will come on, but we gonna build. We gonna build. You know.
We got Jazzy waiting to come on.
Oh, okay, okay. Let's do that. Okay,
Yeah.
but we
She
gonna
ready
finish
to
on
rock.
racial fatigue real quick,
Okay. Got
and
it.
then we'll get with Sister Jazz on.
All right.
It would be great if Sister Jazz has like an avatar, a picture that she can put on her thing. So if she
You
doesn't
know what?
want to
While
be
you
like
do
on cam, she
I'm
can
gonna
at least.
try to help her with that because I don't think she has one. I'm gonna try to help her.
Okay,
All
okay.
right.
So I'm gonna continue with the racial fatigue expose. So
Call
now
her right now.
what they're talking about with racial fatigue is they're talking about white folks have racial fatigue over what they think black people uh, represent in the country, how we act, our culture, our disposition, our the way that we patronize one another, the way we patronize the country, the way that we go about our business on a daily basis. White people have racial fatigue. Um, and that was the title of one of my shows. I didn't get to do the show, but that was the title of one of my shows. And to me, the audacity is what the audacity is what's on tap for me. Like, how do you even, even call yourself thinking that way? It's the audacity and the entitlement. You know what I mean? That if I don't hear another example of white privilege that's more powerful, then that's it right there. You know what I'm saying? How you feel like you racially fatigued if you the one that created this entire systematic racism that we deal with on a regular basis that guides the nine crucial areas of human activity. Shout out to Dr. Neely Fuller. Um, you're tired. How do you think we feel? How do you think we feel over 400 years of dealing with y'all bullshit? Y'all tired of black women twerking? At least this is what I'm hearing. Y'all tired of black women twerking. Y'all are tired of the gang banging. Y'all are tired of black people's the way that we purport ourselves, our slang, our culture, our mannerisms. They're tired. They're tired. They're tired. They're tired. Um, what that basically purports to me is they don't want to deal with they don't want to share their blocks. They don't want to play nice. You know what I'm saying? That's what that really looks like to me. Let's have a higher discussion about it. What do y'all think about black fatigue? What do y'all think about white people having black fatigue? And is that even a thing? Or are we just talking about white privilege and we're talking about white people's entitlement? So, and I think that's what it boils down to. I think white people feel very entitled, and I think they don't want to share the um, the I guess the American dream, for lack of a better word. They don't want to share the American, I guess, traverse or destiny towards ultimate success. And then if they have to do it with a culture of people that number one they deep down don't like, number two they deep down fear retaliation from, and number three they fear that their youth is going to up get wind of their BS over the centuries and not want to continue the systematic way that they do their thing, then to me, we're just dealing with entitlement. We're just dealing with white privilege. We're just dealing with the Trump the Trump battery that's in everybody's backs that are making everybody act out on some, bigotry, racism, and discrimination that they didn't get to do over the last 40 years. Oh, you mean to tell me that we had to spend 40 years sharing with you guys, sharing the American experience, sharing the American way, sharing the American wealth? More black people are moving into the middle class and upper middle class now ever before. You got more rednecks that are not in college and more black women, more black men being in college than rednecks in middle America going to college. So you mean we got to share all of that with y'all now? We don't want to do that. I don't want to see, 7-foot athletes rolling around in Bentleys, and I got to milk cows. You know what I'm saying? In the middle of Nebraska. That's making me feel that's making me feel a way. That's making me feel a type of way. You know what I'm saying? So they got black fatigue. So talk to me about that. What do y'all think about that? Have y'all experienced some racial microaggressions and macroaggressions that would give you the idea that there's a lot of black fatigue going on out there? Put it in the comments. Live on stage. The call letters are down below. CVJ III 2 U's and the number 5. So that's the way you can join us tonight. We can have a higher discussion about it. And the reason why I always talk about race and politics and race and gender and race and, misinformation on this show is because, according to our elders and Dr. Nellie Fuller, if you don't understand racism and the way that it affects the 9 critical areas of human activity, then you don't understand what racism is, how it manifests itself in daily activity, and how we can fight it. And that's really why it still continues to reel its ugly head the way it does, even in 2025. So we're going to continue. Let us know what y'all think about black fatigue and white people having black fatigue because they don't like the environment that the United States of America is transitioning into. And guess what? After almost 5 centuries of being here, probably more, right? If we're talking about real numbers, right? And we're talking about the Battle of Guadalupe in South Carolina and Santo Domingo, then we're talking about maybe over 5 centuries of being here and going through all the terrorism and crazies and savage inequalities that we went through, and we still here, right? They are racially fatigued. And here's a question: can they put the genie back in the bottle? So now that they're tired of talking about race, they're tired of talking about the exploits of race and whether they should apologize for race or whether they should give reparations for the terrorism of racism over the last 500 years to whatever groups they did it to, especially us. Now they want to try to put the genie back in the bottle because black people have fought and have, swung their way into the middle class society, the middle class of America, and things like that. But there's still so many of us living hand to mouth. So many of us living paycheck to paycheck, living whim to whim, living belly to belly, hand to hand with whatever we doing. They got to hit them corners and do them crazy things with them products in order to, put some food in their mouth, or live a decent lifestyle. So let us know what you think about racial fatigue. Do we have it? Do they have it? And can you put the racial genie back in the bottle, the racial evil gin back in the bottle, now that it's out, and now that the pendulum and the karma is swinging in the other direction, they don't want no part of it. And can they, force a social retrograde of American culture so it goes back to them having the, not having to, have to pay for the sins of their forefathers and foremothers. Let us know. And it's very, very interesting. That particular article, I'll show it again. And you guys can read it, and then you guys can get back with us. It's, hold on, let me see. I'm trying to remember where I got it from, because it's really interesting. It's that's the Dr. Thunder website. Hold on, let me see if I can just pop it up real quick and give you the URL for it. Racial fatigue. Oh, there it is. I just seen it. Oh shoot. Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, it's The Conversation. The website is called The Conversation. And that article was done in 2023. But so it's not new. And it's not new for us that, we're going through things like this. You know what I'm saying? But what is new is that white people want to claim, okay, we're ready to go. Okay, cool. That white people want to claim that they tired. They tired of the racial fatigue. You know what I'm saying? So how you gonna create something and you tired of it? So the question again is, can you put the evil jinn back in the genie bottle if the pendulum is swinging back at you and that karma is coming like a mother? Like my man said on Love Jones, it's a mother. It's gonna hit you like a
word.
You know what I'm saying? So now that it's doing that, can they put the genie back in the bottle? I don't think so. They got to live with the bed they made. They got to live with the consequences and repercussions of their actions. And we have a guest. Welcome, Jazzy J, to the Real HD show. Let's bring her in with a round of applause. What's going on, sis Jazz? What's happening with you?
Jazzy Jazz, you can hear us? Or maybe you got something on mute.
No, her mic is open, so I'm not sure what's happening. Usually when we have a problem with sound or video on the show, you can go out of the stream and then come back in, and usually that clears up your audio issues. So if you'd like to do that, that'll help majorly. Or maybe she stepped away, or whatever the case may be. And whatever the case is, well, my New York Knickerbockers, I hope we're destroying them Indiana peasants. You know what I'm saying? And we doing what we got to do to be victorious and move on. This is a labor of love because my Knicks is on right now, and I should be getting down with them. But we gonna get through our labor of love, man, and we gonna do a segment I haven't done for a while. It's called Respect My Goofy while we waiting for Sister Jazz to come on. Because we need that levity, we need that funny, we need that. This is a thing I started with my brother Sincere, and he hasn't been on the show in quite a while. And Jazz is back on. Okay, and I just want to play this clip. I'm gonna bring Jazz into the show, and I'm gonna play this clip, and then we'll get into everything special that Sister Jazz has to offer to the show. So we're in a Respect My Goofy moment, and I just want to play this clip to show you that these people aren't nothing to emulate. These people aren't anything to follow, and if this doesn't prove it, I don't know what will. Real HD show, check this out. Respect My Goofy.
Kobe.
I bet you I can. Challenge is accepted. Now, to swab your DNA and clone you, I had to figure out exactly where you are. I saw you putting your DNA on a wall full of chewed gum. I then did a Google search for gum wall. It came up with the famous gum wall in Seattle, Washington. There's over 5 million pieces of gum stuck to this wall. I found the exact address. I then took my DNA kit from my laboratory and boarded the first flight to Seattle. Once we landed in Seattle, I went straight to the gum wall. I then spent the next 4 hours of my day looking for the exact piece of gum that you licked. I then found the gum that you licked, and I swabbed your DNA directly off it. I took your DNA onto the airplane and went back to my laboratory in Los Angeles to clone you. Back at my lab, I placed your DNA swab inside my hydrated cylinder. I poured artificial somatic cells inside my cylinder. I placed the mixed DNA inside my vector. This is your clone currently after 37 days, and soon I'll have you for myself.
Yeah, did y'all see that? Look at the end real quick. Hold on. So they cloned this woman's DNA from chewing on this gum, on this famous gum wall in Seattle.
Crazy.
And this is the outcome. They cloned it and made a baby clone, stem cell clone baby of her DNA from this gum wall. And check out what it looks like.
I placed the mixed DNA inside my vector. This is your clone currently after 37.
Okay. Whoa.
Oh my God.
Interesting.
Yo, these people are losing it. First of all, why would you lick a gum wall?
Yeah, that's disgusting. And I say disgusting the way it should be said because they got a G in that word. So, most people pronounce it as disgusting, but that's disgusting when it's something real like that. I take the time out to put that G in it. That's disgusting.
Right. So we got sister Jazzy on the show with us. And I got a lot of sisters named Jazzy in my life right now. So we in tune with the Jazzies of the world. The Jazzies of the world are gravitating to the Real HD show like nobody's business. So once again, let's bring it in with a round of applause. Sister Jazz, Real HD show. How you doing?
Oh man.
Talk to us, sis. What's happening?
Okay, here I am.
There you go.
There you go.
Hey.
What's good? Welcome to the Real HD show. Let's have a higher discussion. What's going on?
Okay.
We gotta let the world know there's a world premiere. This is our correspondence in the Ditty case.
Yes.
This is the Real HD show correspondence.
Yes. Giving us her firsthand narrative. You know what I mean? Because we usually get the Mockingbird news. You know what I'm saying? With all the channels repeating the same goddamn thing, like they don't have a brain in their head, right? And they can't look with their own eyeballs and view information with the scientific method and come up with their own opinions on what the news is on the streets. But we got our sister delivering it to us. Talk to us about what is intricate and the on the ground, boots on the ground happenings with this Ditty trial and why it's important. Talk to us, sis.
Okay, yeah. Well, this is a real important trial because for years there have been these rumors going around about Puff Daddy, Sean Diddy Combs, about his type of behavior and these freak-off parties that's been going on for years, and no one was really paying attention to when people were talking about these type of parties and what was going on. So now here we are, years later, we're in court. He's brought up on these RICO charges, and now he's on trial for all these different charges.
Right.
So we all know that we've heard, Cassie's testimony and what went on with that. So everyone has been saying, this sounds more like a DV situation, and it's not really about the DV. Because what they're doing is they're building the case from basically from the ground up. So first they had Cassie. She told her side of her abuse with Diddy. So after she told her side of her story, of course they had the cross-examination and they were trying to break her, her story down. So they also had, after she told her side, they have to have corroborating witnesses. So that's who they brought on a bunch of corroborating witnesses to corroborate exactly what she said.
Mhm.
Like Cassie at one point said, she spoke about the abuse that Diddy did to her. At one point, I believe they were all at a dinner or something, and Dawn Richards, who was a former Danny Kane member, she spoke about it, and she said that she also saw some of the abuse at one point, where I guess Cassie, she did not do what he wanted her to do, and next thing you know, he hauled up and punched her in the stomach in front of everyone. There were people that saw this, but no one did anything because, of course, he's this, big mogul. He has a lot of power, and he does a lot of controlling of people's careers, their lives. And that's the type of person that he is. He's very controlling over her. And I know some people probably were saying, oh, well, why didn't she leave? Now, if you've ever been in a domestic violence relationship, it's all about manipulation, breaking you down, controlling your mind. And that's, what he did basically to her. So moving forward, there was a doctor, forensic doctor, and she was saying that her testimony as a forensic psychiatrist, she is talking about what women or people in DV relationships, how that kind of breaks you down, like they break the person down. And she was basically talking about that and how a person in that situation, you can't just pick up and leave because you're so broken. You think that what the person is saying to you, that it's really true, that you're nothing, you're not worth it. So that kind of like broke down her mindset, and that's probably why she stayed so long and took her so long to get out. Now, do you have my my slides today?
No, I never got them.
What?
Yeah, I'll look again. I was looking all day.
Yeah, I emailed them to you.
Okay, let me see. Let me see if I get them. Because if I have them, I could just share my screen. But on my email, I didn't get them, and I was looking for them as I was prepping for the
Right.
show. Either way, if it's on here, I'll just plug them in. It's very easy to do. No, I don't have them. I'm looking on my Gmail. I don't see them.
Yeah, that's where I sent it.
Yeah, is it possible you might have? I don't know, because I sent you my email to
Right.
your phone, and I don't. I
It's
still
a
don't see
Gmail
it.
account, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I still don't see it. Yes, sis. I don't. I'm not seeing it.
All
Yeah,
right, give me a sec. Let me check my.
if you want to send it, if you want to send it to me now, you can. While we're talking, and I'll pick it up and I'll plug it in as soon as you send it to me.
Man, I could only imagine that court. That court was like a wild circus.
Yes, had to be.
Yeah, we got to get her to elaborate the vibe and the energy around the courthouse, wherever she, made it to, because the people probably was just wilding. Like, I mean, just.
So one thing I wanted to bring up to the good sister Jazz and to a good brother Godspeed is something that I'm not really hearing the people talking about. Are we as a tribunal going to hold Diddy accountable?
You mean like the street court?
As a people, what are we going to do about a Diddy?
It's already been done.
I'm just saying, like, what's our...
He's over.
He's over, But what's
He's over, bro.
our judgment for him as a community, as a melanated people?
Okay,
Because we
this is good.
funded his entire empire. He wouldn't be half the dude that he is if it wasn't for what melanated people put him in position to do.
Right,
So what's our judgment on this brother? What's our, he's getting his heart weighed against the feather right now. But are we gonna put the scales on the brother and banish or exile or pass our, you know what I'm saying? Because this is their setup.
Right.
This ain't ours.
Right.
He still got to answer to the ancestors. He still got to answer to the people.
Yeah.
If you understand where I'm coming from.
I understand where you're coming from. I mean, I'm not going to look at it from his perspective, because from his perspective at this juncture, he just want to see daylight. He don't care about what any of us think about him, honestly. At this juncture, this juncture, he just want to get his feet out of the jail cell. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. I'm just talking about.
So that's why I say I'm not looking at from his perspective, from our perspective solely.
I'm saying
from our perspective solely. What I'm going to say is that most of it has been done already. He will never make another red cent in this industry ever again, no matter what happens. Even if they free him, he's not going to make a red cent. He is no Diddy for the rest of his. He might as well just move out of this country and just go somewhere and just be lost. Quite honestly.
Right. Are we gonna Napoleon Waterloo his ass, or are we just gonna let white justice do the job that we supposed to spiritually do on a pariah like that? If you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, it's gonna end up being it's gonna end up being just that. It's gonna end up being that the court systems, the law system is gonna do what they're gonna do to him, whether they free him or not. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. Our people ain't gonna do nothing. All right.
Right.
And why should they? Because the person that did what they did to Trayvon Martin, well, shoot, so many people are called out. But look what that guy, what's his name again? I even forget his name, and I should not forget his name. The guy that did Martin dirty, man. He killed that young man down in Florida. You know, he killed Trayvon, and the next thing you know, he's at some random gas station getting gas. Like easy peasy, living his best life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my thing is, like, we did nothing about that. You know, wherever he was in that gas station in Dallas or whatever, nobody did anything, right? So here it is. Look what they did to our brother in Philadelphia. Good young man. You know, the voice of the youth, they called him. And it was the youth that killed the voice of the youth. Killed that young activist rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what you know what? Look, I'm just gonna say it like it is. I'm a Moor, but these are my people. So this is what our people do. Right? Generally speaking. Not me and you, not our audience, not anybody that don't fit the suit that I'm putting out there right now. But this is what we do quicker than doing what we should be doing. Right? The guy that killed Trayvon Martin should have got street justice on the rip, on sight. We go on sight for a chain. We go on sight for a chain. We young and reckless still and die for our necklace. That's disgusting. A 17-year-old wrote that lyric. Young and reckless, die for my necklace. A 17-year-old back in 1994 wrote that.
Right.
And we still doing it today with all this internet and all this computer in your phone. With all the age of intelligence is upon us. And we still act dumb, deaf, and blind. So what are they going to do about Puffy? Our people ain't going to do nothing. If R. Kelly came out tomorrow, our people going to buy his next record. They ain't going to do nothing. Because that's the way they roll. Generally speaking.
If you agree with Brother Godspeed, put it in the chat. Are we gonna act like zombies on this one? Or are we gonna hold that brother's feet to the fire? And should it be on site? Like you know, and I hate to go by popular media, but a time to kill. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Sam Jackson had to exert his own justice because he couldn't find justice in the justice system. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got a comment. All right.
How we do?
It says speaking of street justice, what doesn't the Bible have people stoning those that committed crazy crimes? Yeah. That's basically the question I'm asking. My question is, if it's on site for less, then why does he get away with what he does in the name of making money, in the name of being famous, in the name of making records and making money, and then the people that groomed him and taught him how to do these things, taught him to be a clone of them. I'm talking the Tommy Mottolas, the Clive Davis, the Lucian Granges of the world, all of the, you know, perverted, crazy ass terroristic people that want to exercise these means just for profit and for acculturation. Is it on site for them?
Right.
And how does he spiritually answer the people? How does he do that?
George Zimmerman. That's the name I want to say, bro.
Yeah.
George
of course.
Zimmerman. Get
Of
his
course.
name. George Zimmerman at a gas station casual.
Yeah, he's like Voldemort. Those who his name shall not be said because it doesn't need saying.
Yeah.
He's
yeah,
like,
no, I just wanted to be sharp.
He's the dude that don't need the love.
No.
Trayvon Martin and his family needs the love. You know what I mean? Not this clown who decided to do what he did. So, Sister Jazz, are we on? Are we rocking? Or what's happening?
Did you get the email?
All right, let me see, because I'll put it on.
While you look at the email, I'm gonna go on another rant. So cool.
Go ahead, do your thing, man.
So cool.
Hey,
So
we are experiencing a rant by Lucky A. Smith. Go ahead, bro. That's how we tease Brother Lucky with that, man. That we got love for him for sure, but we tease him.
Don't just jump on the bandwagon.
Go ahead,
you know what I'm saying? My thing is like this though, right? So okay, let's just say in a perfect world, we pass our own adjudication on Diddy, right? Cool.
Yes.
So watch this now. It's like the shin bone connected to the knee bone. So if I start pulling on the shin, I'm eventually working my knee to my way to the knee, right? So my thing is this. So he's the shin. We pull on him. Retribution, right? But for who? The knee? We got to pull them too. You know why? For all intents and purposes, most of them, if not all of them, most of those people are complicit. Most of those people are consenting adults that participated, like that dude in Africa. Heck, I forget his name. You know, he's a Afrobeat artist and whatnot. I mean, get a load of him. You know what I'm saying? He was a willing participant.
You talking right? Burna Boy?
Yeah, Burna Boy. He was a willing participant. Bunch of them are willing participants. Look what he did. He tried to shame Fabulous on Drink Champs, him and Nori. You know what I mean? Nori talking about, oh yeah, you know, I'm here to prove that Fabulous is part of the locker room. The locker room is a code word.
Right.
Okay? So that's what you did to prove? This dude come up here to market his record, mind his own business, and Jadakiss got super quiet.
Hey, let me say this to Sister Jazz. I didn't get your email. Can you try it with this email here?
You see the email, Jazz?
Yes, and that's where I sent. Oh, I think I forgot something. I see. Okay. All right. I see what I did. Okay. All right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So my thing is like, so my thing is like, if we grab the shin and now it's pulling on the knee, which was in cahoots all this time, but pretending to be victims now, but in
Right.
cahoots. All these people are in cahoots.
Yes.
Then we need to go after them. They need a little street justice too, because we can't just do that to them. One
See,
hand
that's
can't
why
clap.
so bro,
Two
that's
hands
why
clap.
I'm mad at this Southern District attorney when they first brought this case out, because he said, we not going after nobody else right now. And to me, that was non-cipher. I was like, what are you doing? You don't like your jaw. We need to go after the whole kit and caboodle. Go after the whole table. Don't just go after one dude, because it's not gonna stop with him. They gonna groom somebody else.
Yep.
You know what? And I hate to say this because we got this psychotropic racial personality disorder so many of us suffer from. Kai Cenat will be the new Diddy in another couple years.
Who?
I said it.
Who?
He's like this real famous influencer YouTuber that everybody's like going crazy about. Kai Cenat.
Okay.
Young dark-skinned brother with dreads that gets everybody excited when he does his YouTube shows or whatever. He has like
I gotta Google him.
on. Kevin Hart, Nicki Minaj, all these people have been on the show. Tyga, Tila, all these people, and his rise to stardom, the way it's happening, is really kind of weird, because it's like so many people are struggling to do well at streaming, and you just like breezing through it, getting millions of dollars. Like, who paying you? Like my man off of Friday Night Lights. Who paying you?
Right.
My man Booby Miles. Who paying you? You know what I'm saying? Who you working for? You know
who you working for? Exactly. Who you working for?
My man Derek Luke. I wish Derek Luke would get more roles. I love him as
he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal.
He's really dope.
He's phenomenal.
But, yeah, so that's the other thing. I think do we have an extra comment? Let me see. We might have another comment coming through. Okay, we do. Here we go. Those that control the system must agree with these sick individuals, even though the elites are usually not outspoken. Their silence and inaction can speak volumes for those that are tuned in. I agree, bro. I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. And they want to move in the shadows. They want to move in the shadows. They don't want the limelight, because if the light shines on them vampires, the sun cripples them. You know what I'm saying? They can't hold up with the truth of the sun shining on them. They gotta hide. They got power. They gotta run away. You know what I'm saying?
We get sun kissed. They get sunburned.
Yeah, like Remy on Sinners. You know what I'm saying? He dropped down and that sun hit him and he couldn't take it. He had to go get shelter, like immediately.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Immediately.
Duck,
you know what I'm saying?
Rolling.
Shout out to Sinners, man. If you haven't seen Sinners, I watched it twice. If you haven't seen Sinners, go pay that money and watch. Probably, you thought Black Panther was kind of good. This is super good.
Yeah.
This is
super
Sinners
good.
is super good. And if you haven't seen Sinners, shame on you. Go watch the movie. Go to the movie theater. Don't just bootleg it or stream it. Go watch it. Support that brother. He's doing brilliant work. Support him continuing to do brilliant work. Go watch that movie. We move on. Sister Jazz, are you ready? Did you send it? Let me check if it's there.
While you do that, so
no, not yet. I didn't get it. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna continue while we're waiting for Sister Jazz to get our and if we don't get it tonight, because we're almost at 10 o'clock. So if we don't get it done tonight, we're definitely gonna come back on and have you on as an extended guest next Wednesday. And we'll flesh all of this out.
I sent it to you.
You did? Okay, let me see if I got it. Oh, I got it. Yay. Okay, cool. Let me load it up. Y'all continue to chop it up or give us your breakdown. Continue to do your breakdown.
I got a couple of little questions for
while I load up all these questions.
Hey, Jazz, what was the energy like around that courthouse? How people was acting? Were people acting like stars? Were people acting like they were
Let me tell you this.
Reserved?
let me tell you this. Okay, so the first time I went down there, which was like the first day of the trial, right?
Mm-hmm.
The line was like very long. A lot of people out there, right? I was online. I was able to get in. I got into the overflow room, right? And I got there that particular day around 6:30. So this time I said, okay, I'm gonna be a little smart. I'm gonna come up prepared, and I'm going to go get there really early. I got there. Well, first of all, I got up at 1 a.m. Got my stuff together. I got down there at 3:45 a.m. There must have been about maybe 14 people on the line when I got there, because they have this thing, I did not even know they had this, where they're like ticket holders, where they sleep on the line or they sit out on the line for hours and they get paid in order to do that, to hold spots for people.
That's crazy.
So I'm figuring I'm there really early. I'm about to get in. Okay, I'm getting into the main courtroom. I'm not going to the overflow room. I'm going into the main courtroom because I was there early enough. So here it is. It's getting, to the point where they're starting to get people together to start letting them in. Next thing you know, all the people that were camped out, sleeping, whatever, their people came, right? Then there was this one person that was sleeping for somebody. They came with like 4 people.
Wow.
And then people started rushing the line because the guard didn't have a clue what he was doing with the line. The system was just messed up, and people were really messed about that, because they had not the main press, but they had other press people that had press badges. They had them on they took them off the line that they were on with us and put them over on a separate line. So I think they had like maybe like 20 press go in, and then maybe they might have had like space for like 20 of the public. You know what happened to me? I ended up being, let's say they needed like 14 people. I ended up being number 15. And you know why that happened?
Why?
Because they claim that she is a so-called big YouTuber came. And she knew one of the ladies that was holding spots for people, knew her. So yeah, she went and got her way up.
She got juice with the people.
Was that was that Tasha K? Okay.
I think it was somebody named Tisa, I think.
Oh.
Tisa? Yeah, I don't, yeah. See?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking on who that was. Okay.
Yeah, so people was scraping and scratching trying to get inside.
And and then well, they have another entrance too, where the family would come in and the other witnesses and things like that.
Okay.
People that's giving testimony, they had a different entrance where they would come in. But let's say, for instance, like at the first trial, I saw the guy Little Rod. You guys know who Little Rod is? Little Rod was the one that had a suit against him.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he was there. I don't know why he was there, but he was there.
Did you see Kid Cudi?
That was today. I wasn't down there today.
Oh,
well, matter of fact, he's testifying tomorrow.
Okay.
Because a surprise witness came into the courtroom today. So they had to take him and have him do some testimony. And apparently that was someone that worked very closely with him. Yes.
So we got your pictures lined up. Let me know when you're ready to go through them.
Yeah. Go ahead, put it up. I'm gonna just give a quick rundown real quick because there's one that's missing. Because I didn't have time to put it up for you. So let's just do the ones that we got today.
Okay. So let's go through this one here.
Okay, that is Cassie's mom. Cassie Ventura's mom. That's Regina Ventura.
Okay.
She was just basically corroborating the things that her daughter said, and also stated that Diddy had told them if they didn't pay $20,000, he was going to release some explicit pictures of their daughter. So of course they took some equity out of their home and they got the $20 and they paid it to him. Then the next day he returned the $20. Not $20. I'm sorry, the $20,000.
Oh wow.
The next day.
20,000. Okay. Wow.
I see that to me that's showing power.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a power move for sure.
Yeah.
Exactly. And isn't that also extortion?
Yeah.
Well, bribe money.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
More like bribe.
Yeah, because you made it.
I wouldn't say extort. I would say bribe.
You made it conditional. You made some sort of threat conditional on the money. Yeah. Yeah.
No, a bribe is different than extortion.
Oh wait. Yeah. I missed something. Okay. I think I missed something. Okay.
Yeah, they gave him the $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that way they will not release the pictures, of their daughter. And then he returned it the next day.
Oh, I see what you saying. Now I understand the situation. I didn't understand it. Yeah, that's extortion.
Yeah, that's just showing his power.
Yeah.
$20,000, huh? Wow.
Do what I say. Yeah.
You don't even need that money. Wow.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Yeah.
He said that they needed it more than he did.
Yeah, that was. He's filthy rich, and he was being a filthy individual.
That's why he returned the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right, let's talk about this one because
come on.
We're actually in overtime, so we'll go overtime to get through your picks.
Yeah. Okay. So this guy
here,
he's going into the courtroom. He's one of the escorts that had a lot of encounters with Diddy and Cassie. Isn't there another one, like some other ones of him? Because I'll tell you what his name is if you go to the other one. No, that's the only one you have.
Is it the one with the mask on?
Yes. Okay, that's the Punisher, the same guy you saw walking into the courtrum.
Okay.
His name was the Punisher, and he was the one that.
So Diddy was on it. Was enjoying his Magic Mike situation. Okay, got it.
Right. Well, no. This is the thing, right? They used to use this guy a lot. So they stopped using him because he was having some ED problems.
Oh.
Because Diddy was in the room.
Yeah.
Diddy was in the room.
Yeah.
While he was doing his woman. He's a voyeur, and the guy said that kind of like, turns him off, I guess.
I see. Wow. Okay.
Because like he said, what he said, something about being hard like a freezer or frozen or something like that. He said. I guess it wasn't frozen. Oh yeah. I guess it wasn't like frozen enough, meaning he wasn't performing the way they wanted him to perform. So he was let go, I guess, of his position.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Over there looking like Road Warrior Hawk.
Yeah. That's why I said Magic Mike. He's giving Magic Mike right now.
Looking like Demolition.
Something. Mad Max,
Yeah, but there's so much more to going on to this case. I know we've ran out of time. So
is this another picture of the same person?
Yep.
Wow, that's the Terradome? Wow.
That's him.
Okay.
All
right.
Look at that. See the
Wow. Wow. Welcome to the Terradome.
For real.
Yeah. This is getting real.
Yeah.
There was some existential questions I wanted to ask, but I'll save it for next show.
Okay, but
And
Kid Cudi's supposed to be testifying tomorrow.
okay, so that'll be right in line with everything, and we'll continue this next week because we're way over time.
Yes, and there's a lot more to go through.
Exactly, and a lot more interesting, thought-provoking questions. You guys make sure you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you turn on all your notifications. So every time we have a Real HD show, you too can tap in with us and have a higher discussion. Share the show. Please timestamp it and tell us if you liked us bringing on our correspondent about the Ditty Trial. Let us know. If you liked any of or you found interesting any of the other parts of the show that we tapped into. If you want Lucky A. Smith to do another rant, let us know. We got you. We are the Real HD Show.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Sign off. Jazz, tell us where the people can find you and patronize you.
You guys can find me on TikTok underneath the Real Jazzy J. That's where I am mostly. Or you can find me probably on Instagram, but I'm not really much on Instagram. I'm more on TikTok. So you can basically find me on TikTok underneath the Real Jazzy J.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
No doubt. And we're going to have you again. If you'll come on, we'll have you again. And
next Wednesday.
And we'll do it. We'll start the show with this and we'll get into it because I have some really interesting. There's a sister named Whitney Webb, right? And she's doing an expose on the macro elite, I guess, covert goings-ons about the whole Diddy situation. So we're hearing about the baby oil and the freak offs and all of the DV and all of the craziness that went on. But we're not hearing about how all of this was set up. So we'll get into that. From the elite point of view. You know what I mean? The Clive Owens, the Tommy Mottolas, the Lucien Granges, all the, Vivaldi, the owner of the UMG, the owner of UMG, the Vivaldi, wow, it's so much. It's a whole rabbit hole. So we'll go down it next week. Thanks everybody for joining. Jazzy J, Brother Godspeed, myself, we are the Real HD Show. We're going to stay peace. Y'all walk with power and make sure to love on each other. We'll see each other next Wednesday. Make sure y'all tune into Broadcast Beats tomorrow and In the Bonus on Sunday. Peace to y'all. Peace to the family.